If you're still viewing your company's website as a digital brochure rather than as a living, breathing sales tool, then you're dramatically limiting the effectiveness of your company's online marketing efforts. In this video, I'm going to break down all the business problems a great web designer will help your company solve so it can get found organically online, generate leads, and ultimately sign its ideal clients. What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the YouTube channel. If you're new here, my name is Bailey Canning. I'm an independent marketing strategist based in Boulder, Colorado, working with service-based businesses around the country. In today's video, I'm going to be breaking down all the business problems a great web designer can help your company solve. First, by detailing how you should look at a top-tier web designer as a business consultant rather than more of just a pixel pusher. I'll be breaking down all the business benefits they can deliver to your company. And then finally, if your company is in the market to redesign its website or just revamp its online marketing strategy in general, I'll be providing you with tips on how to find and vet a great web designer so you can ultimately experience these benefits as well. Finally, just a bit of housekeeping before we get started. If that sounds good to you and you're interested in topics such as branding, web design, web development, digital marketing, etc., make sure to subscribe to my channel because I'll be putting out a new video every week covering one of those topics. So before I discuss all of the problems a great web designer can help you solve and all the business benefits this can ultimately lead to, I want to first just set the stage for this conversation by stating how you should be viewing your web designer. Now, I will say the 80-20 principle definitely applies here. 80% of web designers are just going to be pixel pushers, meaning they might be able to make a website look pretty, but that's really all they're able to do. They're not able to see how a website fits into the big picture of a broader online marketing strategy. They're not able to see how a website can be used to generate leads. They're not very familiar with SEO. They're not familiar with paid traffic. They're not familiar with, maybe how to build an email list, etc. So the way you want to view a web designer and the web designer you're ultimately going to want to find is going to be one who can serve essentially as a marketing consultant, because there's many marketing consultants who know high-level marketing strategy, but they don't necessarily know how to execute on that strategy. But what you want to find to ultimately achieve your company's marketing and sales goals is a web designer who can develop a high-level marketing strategy very broadly across multiple channels like SEO, like paid traffic. And then you want that person to be able to dive into Figma or dive into Webflow and actually start designing and developing a high-performing website that is capable of being an online marketing machine for your company. If you have been thinking that your company's website needs a redesign, whether you're looking to hire an independent strategist / freelancer or a full-service digital agency, you want to make sure that whoever you hire has the ability not just to create a strategic marketing plan around the website, design a really great-looking website that's going to do your brand justice, and then ultimately develop that website so that it's technically sound and loads quickly, providing a great user experience. But you also want to make sure that the party in question is going to be able to be your company's long-term marketing partner so that once the website is live, there's a business and marketing strategy in place to start generating more traffic, generating leads, nurturing leads, and ultimately getting them to book that first-time consultation. All right, so at this point, you're probably thinking, that all sounds great. We could definitely use that help. However, what are these benefits that you're talking about? And what problems can a great web designer actually help me solve? I'm glad you asked because we're now going to get right into it, starting with the benefits. This includes things such as increasing site traffic online, which is going to require a well-planned out SEO strategy so you can get found naturally when prospects search for your company and its services online in your local market. This could also include a paid traffic strategy because ultimately you could have the greatest web designer in the world. They could build the most beautiful website in the world, but if nobody sees it, does it even exist? From these efforts, they could also help you generate more leads, which is ultimately going to, of course, lead to more sales because you can't have sales if you don't have leads. They can help you improve your company's sales process. So for example, one of my clients recently, we were actually getting so many leads, this was about a year ago, that we needed to actually introduce friction into the sales process to make sure that leads were qualified before the client was getting on a first time call with them. So we created this super cool video ask video survey, which has been super effective for the business and people love the interactions they're getting from it. We also set up an automated email workflow so that whenever someone does fill out that consultation form, they're automatically sent the video survey, which is just another example of how a great web designer can look at your business's problems and then devise technical solutions that are going to increase productivity, and ultimately improve the sales process as well. They can even help your company raise its prices. So one, by designing a more premium looking brand, but then also creating a unique marketing strategy that differentiates your company from the competition so that it's able to raise its prices and charge more money for its services. They can help you build an email list, which is essential for long-term marketing success because many clients are not ready to buy from you right away. So what you want to do is get permission to market to them. And that's exactly what building an email list will help you do. And ultimately, that's going to have to get done through the website. They can help your company grow its market share, whether we're talking about locally or nationally. They can increase referrals and word of mouth marketing, which, even though I'm all about online digital marketing, I'm not going to lie, word of mouth marketing is by far the most effective marketing for any business. And then, of course, as a business owner or as a marketing director, all about the power of referrals. So I don't need to go into that. They can also help you make much better and more sound business decisions by being able to go into Google Analytics and go into Google Tag Manager and set up custom event tracking so that your company can measure key events on its website and then ultimately make sense of the data. And then finally, they should be able to dramatically increase the return on investment of your company's marketing efforts across the board. Because what I always tell my clients is that you should not view marketing as an expense, like you may view other business operations, but rather as an investment. Real quick, if you're enjoying this video and getting a lot of value out of it, and you want to pick my brain on your company's current website and digital marketing strategy, link in the description to book a free strategy call with me. You can book it right on my calendar and we'll get to talking. Now I'm going to discuss all the business problems a great web designer / marketing consultant can help your business solve. So as I go through this list, if any of these problems ring a bell to you, you know that a web designer could certainly be a solution for your company. All right, so let's start off with the most common problem I see, and that is low brand awareness or just people not visiting the website in general. If you were to dig deeper into that problem, you would probably discover that your company does not have a strong SEO presence in both its local and or national market. So a great web designer who does know how to put together an SEO strategy targeting both the top and bottom of the funnel would certainly be able to help you increase your company's online brand awareness. Maybe in the conversations you're having with prospects regularly, you see that people don't understand what you do, and or maybe you're having a problem communicating what you do effectively. A great web designer is going to be able to put together a unique marketing and positioning strategy so that your company can communicate its services clearly and effectively and state what makes it different from the competition. Oftentimes I do a story brand workshop with my clients to solve just this. Maybe people don't trust you or the claims you're making. A great web designer could help your company get social proof. So this would come in the form of testimonials. I help my clients put together an entire testimonial system where we can get reviews consistently from past clients. These reviews can then go on the Google My Business profile, which is great for local SEO. And if the client is fortunate enough to have clients that are cool with recording video testimonials, that is some of the best social proof you could possibly have. Maybe your company could benefit from having its services bought online or booked online. So for example, one of my clients here in Boulder is a local rock climbing service. And we started out doing a phase 1 website build where we just got the essential pages up and running on the website. But to book a rock climb with my client, you still needed to fill out a form. The client then needed to get on a call with you. They needed to send over the paperwork manually, etc. So it was a pain. And then we sat down together and we came up with a plan to integrate an online booking system so people can just discover courses online, book a day and time that works for them, and then ultimately pay my client online. And by being able to have the technical skills to reduce friction in the sales process, they've been able to have a much better year of business so far. Maybe your company already has a good website, but it's just not generating leads for whatever reason. A great web designer can help you not just design a website that looks great, but also make sure it's strategically positioned from a digital marketing perspective so that the website can essentially serve as an elevator pitch for your company, telling people about its services, what makes it different, the unique features, the unique benefits, and then ultimately get people to fill out a form and convert into becoming a lead for your company. Now, maybe your company also is suffering from not getting referrals. For service-based businesses, referrals are one of the greatest sources of new business. In fact, many businesses are built on referrals. I would not recommend that as a marketing strategy because that's essentially using hope as a strategy. But it does go to show you that many times if you talk to a business owner at a networking event and you ask them what has been the most effective way to grow your business, they'll say word of mouth and referrals. I get it all the time. Ideally, in a perfect world, however, you would be getting word of mouth referrals and you'd be generating leads from online marketing and you'd probably be doing sales development as well. Maybe you don't have a content strategy, whether we're talking about a podcast, whether we're talking about YouTube videos like this, or whether we're talking about written articles, which I probably wouldn't recommend anymore in this day and age with AI cannibalizing written content, unless you're Hemingway or something. A great web designer / consultant can help you plan out a content strategy as I regularly do with my clients, so that your company can grow its online awareness and get found naturally as people are just searching for problems and solutions that your company provides. And then ultimately, this content can be used to build a relationship, get people to know and trust you, which is ultimately going to lead to more sales and more revenue. Maybe your company's in a growth stage and it's trying to impress potential employees and or investors, and you need a new website to do that. A great web designer is going to be able to create a compelling website that makes prospective employees want to get involved and makes potential investors want to open up their checkbook. Maybe your current website is built on a bloated WordPress theme or God forbid, something like Wix, and it's hard to maintain. A great web designer can use a platform like Webflow so that if any of your employees or yourself ever needs to go in and update the website or just post new content like they should be, it is super easy to do that, and there's no risk of people potentially breaking the website or any other technical issue like that. Maybe your website is not compliant with regulations. Maybe it was built like 5 years ago, and ever since there's been GDPR, which has come out. There's been the CCPA, which has come out. There are accessibility issues, perhaps, that could lead to lawsuits. A great web designer will be able to help your company make sure the website complies with local and national regulations. Maybe the competition has better looking websites. A great web designer will not only help you create a better looking website than your competition, but also a website that looks completely different so that your business is clearly positioned in a category of one. Maybe the website is slow. Maybe it's built on an old WordPress theme that has loaded code output. A great web designer will be able to use a tool like Webflow so that the website loads super quick right out of the box. Maybe your company has had a branding update or needs to rebrand entirely. A great web designer can ensure that branding is consistent or help you develop a new brand strategy entirely. And then finally, maybe the website is fine on desktop, but it's not responsive or it's poorly formatted on mobile. A great web designer will be able to create a good looking website and ensure it looks great no matter what device is looked on. All right, so before we wrap up this video here, I want to give you some tips on how to find and vet a great web designer so your business can experience all the benefits and solve all the problems I've mentioned so far in this video. So I'm just going to keep this very high level. Last year, I did do a video all about how to navigate the sales process of hiring a web designer. So if you're interested, that video will be in the description so you can check it out. No matter how many potential web designers you're talking to, you really want to make sure that they have a systematically outlined process. This process includes things such as a research, discovery, and strategy phase so that they're actually taking the time to learn about your business, learn about the industry, do research on your competitors, and ultimately present you a plan for the website. If when you ask a web designer about their process and they basically start with the actual design of the website, then that is a huge red flag. I'm not going to lie. Because if a web designer is not going to take the time to learn about your business and the industry to ultimately put together a well-researched plan for how the website can serve as the foundation of a future online marketing campaign, then your company is ultimately going to be wasting a lot of time, money, and resources, which is not what we want. Secondly, make sure that they're including wireframes. This is essentially, if you're not already familiar, a visual mock-up of a proposed design for a single web page. And so I use a tool at the industry standard called Figma, where I'm able to present extremely detailed wireframes that represent exactly what I'm proposing for the design of the new website on all the key pages. And from there, they're able to leave comments, they're able to give me their feedback, and then we can revise it to get it more in the direction that they're looking to go with. This ultimately saves time because it's a lot faster to design these wireframes in a program like Figma versus developing them in something like Webflow. So another red flag here would be if the designer you're talking with is just going to develop the website and just send you a link one day and you have no idea what to expect. That is a red flag because wireframes give my clients insurance on the project essentially so that they know exactly what the website is going to look like and what all the copy is going to say before any code gets written, ultimately saving a lot of time and money and stress. Another thing is we want to make sure that the designer can also handle development. So you don't want to get into the stage of the project where the designer says, the website's designed, now you got to hire a web developer to develop it. You really want to make sure that the designer is an all-in-one solution, essentially. Now, ultimately, the person you hire to build your website should be advising you on what are the best tools to get the job done. That's things like what website builder is going to be used, Webflow, Framer, WordPress, etc. Who's the hosting provider going to be? What tools does it need to be integrated with, etc. So ultimately, an experienced designer is going to be able to lead you through that process and advise you on what tools to use. But if you are a prospective client that does have that technical knowledge, then I would definitely recommend asking whatever technical questions that you feel are sufficient. And lastly, you want to know what the development stage of the project looks like. For example, are you going to be able to monitor development in real time with a private staging? Is there a quality assurance process to make sure that the launch is going to be smooth? and there's no mistakes that are going to potentially harm your company's online reputation. These are all key things that you want to make sure that your web designer is going to be able to handle and has good answers for. But like I said, just trying to keep it very high level here. If you want to learn all more about this, link in the description to a full-length video all about how to navigate that pre-sales process of a website project. Now, if you found this video helpful and you're looking to get more results from your company's online marketing efforts so you can start generating more leads, growing revenue, all those types of things, definitely feel free to book a free strategy call with me. It's a 30 to 45 minute casual friendly meeting. I'll take the time to learn more about your company's industry, services, competition, all those things I've talked about in this video, and help you map out a custom website and marketing game plan so that your company can ultimately achieve its goals. Link in description. You can book a time directly on my calendar for whenever it's convenient for you. And like I said, I hope you found this video helpful. If you did, definitely subscribe to my channel, like the video. It helps me out a lot. And I'll see you in the next one. Peace out. Bye.